Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. My name is Mahmoud Kiasari and welcome to my channel Special K, where we are trying to learn different kind of subject. And today I do have a very interesting topic, which is about multiplication as one of the fourth important arithmetic operation that we do have for the math itself. So to be honest, today I was at the pickleball and obviously I won. So I was thinking, why not try to explain the multiplication with my some kind of daily life? So that's why I'm trying to explain this concept with a very funny topic. So welcome to the pickleball multiplication adventure and join me in order to understand that what is multiplication, what is happening, and what we are going to do. So the first thing that we have to know about the multiplication, what does that mean? Again, as I just told you, and if you remember from the addition, multiplication is just repeated addition. It means that when I'm talking about 2 multiplied by 3, actually I'm saying that how many times I put 2 by itself in order to do the adding. So 2 times 3 or multiplied by 3 is going to be 6. Easy, right? So I do have this number as the 6 itself. So let's talk about this scenario that I do have 3 groups, and each groups for the pickleball they have 12 players. So how many some kind of players I do have in total? Easy. I do have 3 groups of 12. It means that the first group is 12, another one 12, another one 12, and I do have it at 36. Don't worry about it. I will completely explain to you how we got that number. But it means that at this point, I do have some kind of a tournament that there are 3 groups in, and in each group there are 12 players. And if we assume that each player needs only 1 paddle, at the end I need 36 paddles in total for my competition. So let's just try to spice it up a little bit. That's okay. 1 digit by 1 digit, 1 digit by 2 digits. It's not that kind of a big deal. But what would happen if I do have 2 digits by 2 digits? Imagine that we're hosting a big pickleball tournament with 24 teams, and each team needs 12 pickleballs for practice and games. So I'm trying to find out how many pickleballs do I need for my whole tournament. So remember, I do have 24 teams. For each of them, I need 12 balls per team. And at the end, I'm trying to find the number of balls that I need for my tournament. So I can see there are 24 teams, and each of them are needing 24 some kind of, need 12 balls. And for special K tournaments, we are trying to see that how many number of balls do we need. So let's do it step by step. The first step. First of all, if you remember, I told you, like the addition, like the subtraction, it would be better to use the column way. It means that I'm going to write them down like this based on their value point. So how should I do the multiplication? Let me just give you a little bit of some kind of introduction about it. So for the multiplication, unlike adding and subtracting, part of it would be the same, but another part it would be a little bit different. But again, if you understand the concept, that would be easy. So 12 multiplied by 24, let me just zoom in a little bit, unit by unit, unit by the number of tenth. And for the next step, I have to times the tenth by a unit, the tenth by another tenth, and after that, I have to add these 2 numbers. It means that I do have, for the first step, 12 multiplied by 4, whatever is that. I have to do 12 multiplied by 2, whatever is that. I have to put a 0 beside of that. Why? Because right now the multiplication is between a tenth value. So to be honest, its value wasn't 2. This value was 20. 20 multiplied by 12. It means that the 4, just the 4 itself, by 2 is going to be considered as 20. So let's just dive down a little bit inside the details to see that what is happening. So for the first step, I'm going to multiply the number 4, which is the unit for my 24. I'm going to multiply it by 12, which is the number that I'm going to find the multiplication or the sum. So I do have a 12 times before itself. It's easy. Again, 4 times 2, I do have it at 8. 4 times 1, I do have it at 4. 48. Or if it's a little bit challenging for you, 12 multiplied by 4, I do have it. Unit by unit, 4 by 2, which is going to be 8. Units by tenth, 4 by 1, which is the 4 itself. And at the end, I do have 48. So at the end, right now, I do have 48. It means that these values are going to be based on the ones place or the place value of 1, which is going to be 4 inside of it. So I do have 4 multiplied by 12, and I do have 48 picoballs right now. So again, remember, it's not done. So for the next step, at this point, I have to continue the multiplication. This time, we need to multiply the tens place of our number. It means that we were done with number 4. Number 4 is done, but right now we have to focus on number 2. Remember, number 2, it's not in the units. Write down number 2 actually representing 20, which is going to be what? Which is going to be 20 multiplied by 12. So at this point, what do I have? I do have a number that I would call it as, okay. So I do have the 2 as 10th multiplied by 12, which is equals to 240. Again, remember, 2 is not the unit anymore. 2 is going to be considered as 20. Remember, each value inside the 10th unit actually worth 10. Each value inside 100 worth hundreds. That's why instead of 2 multiplied by 12, I do have 20 multiplied by 12. And at the end, I do have the 240. So 240 more pickleballs. So what would happen at the end? At the end, I have to add them up. So from the ones place, I do have 48 pickleballs. From the 10th place, I do have 240. And at the end, I do have 288. It means that at this point, if I do have a tournament and if I need some balls based on the 24 teams and each of them need 12, at the end, I need 288 balls for my tournament. So let's try to have a little bit of challenging questions. So we were talking about 1 digit by 1 digit, 1 digit by 2 digit, 2 digit by 2 digit, 2 digits. But what would happen between 2 digit by 3 digits? Again, remember, the way is the same, but at this point, rather than just have units, tenth, we do have hundreds. So let's just look at it. Imagine that I do have the spectators, and there are 125 the spectators, they're watching our tournaments, and each of them need 24 snacks. So at this point, how many of our snacks do I need in order to feed all of them? Easy. I have to find this value, 125 by 24. This is my mission in order to find this value. Remember, 3 digits by 2 digits. 125 spectators, each of them needs 24 snacks. Let's see what is happening. Again, step by step. So for this point, I have to break down the problem itself. Why? Because I'm not dealing with 2 digits anymore. I'm dealing with 3 digits. Again, remember, every time when you are trying to do the multiplication, write this down for yourself. Because at this point, we are going to see that what number is going to be considered as unit, what number could be considered as the 10th, and what should happen at the end with them. So at this point, just like the last one, 4 multiplied by 125, 4 by 5, 4 by 2, 4 by 1. Again, I have to do the 10th. 2 by 5, 2 by 2, and 2 by 1. Let's just do the 125 by 4. Let's see what is happening at this point. 1 digits by 3 digits. 4 times 5, 20. If you remember, units can only handle a number between 0 and 9. So when I do have 4 multiplied by 5 is equals to 20. And this 20 is actually 2/10. So this guy should move this value as 2 carrying number. You heard it right. Again, we do have a carrying number at this point. But this time, it would be a little bit different. Why? Because when I do have 2 as a carrying number, I'm not going to add 4 and 2 and add it with 2. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do another thing, which part of it is the same. 4 multiply by 2, and this time plus 2. Remember, 4 times 2, 8, plus 2 is what? Is 10. So what is happening at this point? At this point, I do have the 10th. And again, remember, the 10th cannot be there. The only number I can handle, by the way, at this point it was 0, because 20 is equals 20 plus 0. At this point, I do have 10, and 10 cannot be at this place. So what should I do? I have to, again, move the 10th to the next point. So what would happen? I still have 1, I still have 0 over here, and I'm going to move the 1 over there. So right now, I do have 4 as units, multiplied by 1, which is at the 100th point. But again, remember, there's another 1. So 4 multiplied by 1 plus 1 is equals to 5. So at the end, I do have 500, like this point. So that was only the first part of it. And again, the next part, I have to multiply 2 by 125. So 125 multiplied by 2. What is happening? 2 by 5. Remember, I do have 10. 10 cannot be there. So I have to, 10, again, is 10 equals to 10 plus 0. Keep the 0, move the 1 to another place as a carrying 1. 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1. This guy is 5. 2 multiplied by 1, 250. But remember, 250 is not a normal number. Why? Because the number 2 that we just did the multiplication with wasn't in the unit values or unit place. It was in tenth. So at the end, I remember 250 should be converted to 2500. So I do have 2500. I have to add it up with 500. And at the end, I do have 3000. It means that if I do have 125 spectators, and for each of them I need 24 snacks, at the end I need 3000 number of snack itself. So just try to wrap this up, and after that, don't worry, we are going to solve a couple of more questions in order to understand what is going on. So at this point, we learned that how we can multiply bigger numbers by breaking down into steps. This step number 1, we have to multiply them. We have to multiply ones place. It means that if the second number, for example, has a 4 in the ones or the units place, we have to multiply by the all of the numbers that we do have with the first one. And again, for step number 2, multiply the 10th place. And remember, when we multiply with the 10th place, we still have to keep the 0 at the end. Add them up, and after that, you do have the answer. So this is a very, very simple some kind of practice for you. You can just do it by yourself, and after that you can leave some comments for chat and some kind of at the bottom of this video for me, that if you completely understand it, that for instance when we are talking about the tournament of 32 teams and each of them have 18 balls, it means that how many of some kind of balls we need. If we do have 246 spectators and each of them buy 15 snacks, how many snacks do we have? And at this point, you can completely understand that how the multiplication is happening. So let's talk about another concept, that means that the timetable. If you guys remember from the very first part of the series of videos, I told you that not all the things are understandable. It means that sometimes we have to memorize it. Yes, I hate the memorizing thing. We have to decrease them down, minimize them as much as possible, but sometimes there is no choice. The one important part that we don't have any choice about is a timetable. What is the timetable? Timetable is the table that contains numbers from 1 to 12. Another one, most of the time, is 1 to 10, but sometimes in order to make it a little bit bigger, we do have 1 to 12. 1 to 12 multiplied by 1 to 12. It means that at this point, we can understand what would happen between the multiplication of numbers. For instance, when I ask you what is 7 times 6, either you can choose the 7, and after that you can choose the 6, make a line, and intersection would be your answer, which is 42. So at the beginning of the point, if you have problem with that, because again, it is going to be a little bit challenging, not everyone can memorize that. But I really dare you and I encourage you to memorize this one, because it is very important. But again, since this is the beginning of your some kind of journey, you can have a timetable by your side, and every time you're looking for an answer, for example, what is 9 times by 8, you can just use it in order to find the answer itself. So again, let's have some multiplication. So at this point, again, 2 digits by 2 digits. 48 by 23. How I should do that? So step by step. 3 by 8 is 24, right? Remember, 24 cannot be at the units place. The only number that I can have between 0 and 9. 24 divided down. 20 plus 4. I will move the 2 into a carrying number, which is the 2. Again, remember, when you move 20 to a carrying number for the next position, it would be 10th. It means that 20 at that point worth only 2. So I do have 2 as a carrying number. I do have 4. I will keep it. Again, number 3 is going to be multiplied by number 4, which I do have it as what? I do have it as 12. Remember, 12 should be added up with 2. So I do have 14. And again, 14 cannot be handled only by one place. So 14 is actually 10 plus 4. I will keep the 4. And after that, move the 1 to the next place. But I don't have any number there to do the multiplication, because 3 would be multiplied by what? Would be by 0. So 3 multiplied by 0 plus 1 is just 1 itself. I'm going to keep that value. And that was only the first step. Why? Because rather than just the 3 as units, I do have 2 as tenth. So right now I have to multiply the 2 by 48 2 multiplied by 48 is going to be 96. Pretty simple. You can do it by yourself. But remember, at this point, 2 multiplied by 48 was actually 20 multiplied by 48. So 96 is going to be converted to 960. And we have to add them up. 4 plus 0, 4. 6 plus 4, we cannot keep it. So it would be 10. Keep the 0 at this point. Move the 1 to the next place. 9 plus 1 plus 1, it would be 11. Keep the 1 and move the 1 to another place, and you have 1104. So at this point, this is just for you. Again, I know you have all the answers, but it is a very, very good practice for yourself in order to some kind of do the multiplication. 6 by 7, 8 by 4, 11 by 8, 25 by 3, 35 by 12, 46 by 27. Try to do that by yourself. If you do have any problem, just leave a comment for me in the chat, and after that, I will do it for you. Also, for the next part, I just consider a couple of questions. Again, these questions are fairly easy, so I'm not going to do that for you, but you do have the answer at this point. Try to pause the video, find some answer, and after that, you can see the multiplication. This point, I'm going to do a couple of multiplication for you again, because 2 digits by 2 digits are the one that somehow we are okay with that. By 3 digits by 3 digits are the ones that are going to be a little bit challenging. So, shall we? Let's start from this one. 966 multiplied by 46. How much is that? Again, remember, I do have two digits by 3 digits. 6 multiplied by 6 is going to be 36. 36 cannot be in one unit, so I will keep the 6, move the 3 as a carrying number. 6 multiplied by 6, 36 plus 3 is 39. Keep the 9, move the 3. 6 by 9 is equals to what? 54. Either you can memorize it or you can use the timetable. 6 multiplied by 9, 54, and after that plus 3 is 7. So I will keep the 7, move the 5 over here. I don't have any number over here. 6 times 0, 0 plus 5, and this is only the first part. For the next section, I have to do what? I have to keep the 0. Again, remember, I'm talking about the 10th. Either you can do the multiplication of 4 by 966, and after that add a 0, or you can just put a 0 over here. So what do I have? I do have 4 times 6, which is going to be 24. So I'm going to keep the 4, and after that move the 2, for example, over here. So I do have 4 times 6, 24, keep the 4, and move the 2 as a carrying number. 4 times by 6, 24 plus 2 is equals to be 26. Move the 2 to another side. 4 by 9, 36. 36 plus 2, 38. Keep the 8, move the 3 to another side, or it would be better to just move it over here. 4 times by 0, 0 plus 3, this number. And right now, I have to find the value of this one. 6 plus 0, 6. 9 plus 4, 13. Move the 1 to another side as a carrying number. 6 plus 7, 13 plus 1, 14. 5 plus 8, 13 plus 1 carrying number, 14. 3 plus 1 is 4. The final answer, 400. I'm sorry, that would be a very big number. 44,436. So let's see, do we have the right answer? Yes, at this point. And let me do another 3 by 3 by you. This one would be a little bit challenging, so we better do that again. You can do all of them by yourself. You do have the answer for the next slide, so don't worry about it. Do it, take your time, and if you can understand it, just leave me a comment. So 409.3 multiply by 216. How much is that? 6 by 3, 18, 1 to the top. 6 times 9, 54, plus 1, 55. Keep the 5, move the 5. 6 by 4, 24, plus 5, 9. Keep the 9, move the 2. This one was 0. 6 by 0, 0 plus 2, this number. Plus, I'm going to do the 1. So I have to use a 0 at this place. 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 9, 9. 1 times 4, just the 4 itself. Plus, remember, this one, again, just like the last one, but at this point, I'm talking about the hundreds. So I have to use 2 zeros at this point. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 9, 18. Move the 1 to another side. 2 times 4, 8. And plus 1 is going to be 9. So right now, find the addition of all of them. All of this one, 8. All of this one, 8. All of this one would be 9 plus 9, 18. Plus 6 is equals 24. So at this point, I do have 4. Move the 2 on the top. So what do I have over here? I do have 2 plus 4 plus 8 and plus this 2. 4 plus 8, 12, 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 2, 16. Move this one, and remember I still do have 9, so that one would be 10. So keep the 0, move the 1, there's nothing here, just keep the 1. The final answer would be 106,488. Let's see, do I have the right answer? Yes, over here. See, that was the multiplication. That was all of the question that we have, and these are the answers. Again, try to take your time, do whatever that it takes in order to completely understand it and do the multiplication, and make sure you do have the right answer. Believe me, if you just can solve this kind of multiplication, there is nothing in the world that you can handle, because multiplication would be considered as one of the challenging arithmetic operations in the world itself. Again, thank you very much for being here with me. This is Mahmoud Kiasari from Special K. Thank you very much, and don't forget to kind of like and subscribe. Try to have some comments. If you have any question, you know where to find me. Have yourself a great day, night, whatever. See you around.